right, Jill. Huh?
You look familiar.
Yeah, thanks.
You know you. All right, good evening, everyone. I'll be reminded for the 84th time that there's a particular sporting event going on tonight. I think the Badminton World Championship. I'm not sure, but everybody keeps talking about it. They're saying they're lying to me, so I don't know what it is. But we'll work quick as cats here. I'm going to call to order the Monday, September 22nd, 2025 Royal Oak City Commission meeting to order. We're going to begin with an invocation given by Mayor Pro Tem Hunt, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I ask that you stand if you can, please.
The past few weeks have been a sobering reminder of just how fractured our country has become. The political and cultural divisions aren't just simmering beneath the surface anymore. They've reached a boiling point. Although disagreement is the lifeblood of democracy, what we're facing now isn't healthy debate, it's disconnection. We weren't meant to live in echo chambers or treat our neighbors like adversaries. We were meant to build together, not break apart. Last week, I joined some of my fellow commissioners and other local leaders at a regional convention. Amid all of the policy talk and governance workshops, one session stood out, a full 90 minutes dedicated to the role of art in communities. Not policy, not politics, but art. And it was powerful, because art is power. It is not just murals or statues, it is about meaning. The arts break down barriers and create dialogue. It gives voice to the unheard and space to the unseen. The arts symbolize unity, and unity is community. No, I'm not naive. Art alone won't erase the deep divisions we face, but it can be a starting point, a spark, a way to remind ourselves that we have more in common than we think. No matter how vast our differences are and the way we see the world, it is undeniable that certain paintings, songs, or other expressions of human soul moves all of us. It is these things that will help us as we continue to try to build bridges of common beliefs and values instead of walls of fear and differences. And tonight, we get to act on this. This evening, we get to review and discuss the approval of a mural installation in our community. These aren't just designs, they're invitations to connect, to celebrate, and to heal. They bring new beauty to our streets and new togetherness to our neighborhoods. It is important that we embrace these opportunities and understand the importance of not only investing in infrastructure, but in inspiration. Because if we want to mend what's broken, we must start with what connects us. And sometimes that's a paintbrush, a poem, or the star dream. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent invocation. All right, that brings us to presentations to the City Commission. I see Ms. Martin's here tonight. At least I think I saw her earlier. There she is. Oh my goodness, I was looking back there. She is going to do a Older Adults Advisory Board annual report for the year 2024-2025. Ms. Martin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. This brief presentation accompanies the Royal Oak Older Adults Advisory Board's 24-25 annual report included in your packet. Thank you to the members of our board that are here tonight. It's been 7 years since the Aging in Place Task Force was formed, 3 years since Aging in Place Plan was adopted, and now it's time to renew the city's AARP certification as an age-friendly community. This presentation and the report will be included in our community progress report required for certification. The plan serves as an outline of how people will live, work, and play, and takes into consideration the needs and wants of a growing older adult population. The board, being fairly new, spent the last year reviewing the plan, identified goals, and the actions and activities completed to date. It also identified certain areas that it deemed priority. Some of the opportunities deemed important and actionable were shared with the administration and staff. As the city onboarded new leadership, the board invited them to its meetings to gain a better understanding of who and how projects can be implemented. Several positive changes came about in a short time as a result. The city manager held a coffee and donuts at the senior center to share updates and get older adult residents' feedback. An information session on the new parking meters was held at the senior center, which allowed for convenient resident input. Additional handicap parking spaces were added at the 11-mile garage on the main floor, and auto door opener buttons in parking structures were evaluated and repaired as necessary. The annual report provides detailed stats for senior services, but we want to share a few stats in comparison to last year, which highlight some of the enhanced senior services. Meals from Tim's Kitchen grew from 4,700 to 5,700. Day trips from the senior center increased by 23%, and volunteer hours serving older adults increased by 1,000 hours. This next slide shows America as an aging nation. In 5 years, 1 in every 5 people in the U.S. will be 65 or older. In less than 10 years, the number of people 65 and older will be greater than those 18 and under. In Royal Oak, the number of 65 to 84-year-olds grew 50% between 2010 and 2023, while the total number of youth under 18 declined by 30% over the same time period. Over the last 7 decades, people have primarily focused development on families with children. The board was pleased to submit its input regarding housing concerns and consideration of older adults for inclusion in the master plan. Another one of the 6 domains of livability in the Aging in Place plan is outdoor spaces and buildings. The senior center upgrades, the Fred Herb Arboretum, and Park are just a few examples of how the city has collaborated with other government entities and nonprofits to make public spaces more accessible. The Community and Health Services domain aims to support seniors through resources and programs. Working with Oakland County and Habitat for Humanity for the Rock the Block event is another example of how the city has expanded services, helping older adults remain in their homes through the provision of yard cleanup and routine maintenance. Collaboration for success is also stressed in the plan, and the current Safe Routes to School initiative is utilizing the AARP walking audits as its model and using senior volunteers to help gather data. Our goals to enhance pedestrian and cycling experience apply to all ages. As staff liaison to this board and together with other members, we intend to go beyond just providing a list of accomplishments to you, the commission. We hope that by working with the Royal Oak administration and staff, that our community will see a results-driven shift in how our city moves forward. Our goal is for departments across the city to be familiar with how the projects and plans look when viewed through a lens that makes aging in place a priority. That's it. Questions?
Questions for Ms. Martin?
All right.
Oh, we have a question from Commissioner Cheatham.
It's not a question, but I just I have the pleasure of serving as the liaison to this committee, and this committee is a recently formed committee. It came out of the Aging in Place Task Force, and I just really want to lend my gratitude towards the members. We have a really great group of committed, passionate people who come to the board every month. They bring their expertise and often their lived experience, and it's been a really great experience to serve with them, and I'm just really appreciative of the time that they give to the city. And I also want to say that it's been really nice having most months, or maybe at least every other month, we've had a staff person from the city meet with the board. And that's been really, I think, a real successful practice in that it allows staff from across the city to really hear the priorities of this board, of the seniors living in Royal Oak, and think about how it connects with the work that they do. And so I just really want to also lend my gratitude towards Ms. Martin for all of her leadership and work with this board. So a few things that weren't in the great presentation, but I think I just wanted to particularly highlight here tonight. Thank you.
Commissioner Chisholm, anybody else? Great presentation. I learned quite a few things. I know when we put this together from the commission point of view, and we got the board members appointed, we put some leadership behind it. No one knew what to really expect. These things can easily be just meet and greet and placate and talk about issues, but it's clear that this is a working board doing urgent work, and some of the demographic changes that you showed up there, Ms. Martin, really express how important it is, the work that this board does, and how this community will benefit from it, and any other community that's looking to Royal Oak and trying to model the same thing will benefit as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, item B tonight, which is the Royal Oak Leprechauns 2025 season report, is going to be moved to October 13th. So we will pass that one. Now, item C, which is 10 from the top. Joseph Gaccio. Yeah, we got to have some walk-up music for him if he's going to.
All right, in light of tonight's pickleball game, it's a touchdown and a field goal from the top. Here we go. First, I want to begin with the state of the city. The mayor held a state of the city address. Last week, we had the honor of hosting that with our partners Henry Ford right in Centennial Commons. They had limited seating capacity, and they were willing to convert their first floor atrium and open it up for us for a limited engagement. And it was just a wonderful event. To their point, they made a point of talking about how this facility has exceeded all that they had expected when they moved into Royal Oak. Specifically, they noted they've seen 700,000 patients since 2021 when they opened. They've expanded their specialties, as listed here, and more. They noted that they've had 300 employees who are now in our downtown every day, which is many of them supporting our local businesses and restaurants. And also noteworthy, 70,000 family patient visits, speaking a lot about some of Royal Oak families in the neighborhood that actually will walk up to those appointments. So it's a really good experiment with them, and certainly transformative as we were looking at Centennial Park as a backdrop of that major public-private partnership investment. So really a credit to the night. That was recorded and produced by WROK. It is now available for streaming on the city's YouTube page this week. So it is completely available for you to catch and listen to the mayor's thoughts and the wonderful input from the night. Related to the previous presentation, Tim's Kitchen Meals. I always want to spread the positivity here, and our staff received a donation of $1,000 to support this popular community program from actual participants in the program, and they wrote a nice letter, and I just pulled a quote there that really highlights the importance of the program. Quote, "The benefits we've gained are eating and getting nourishment from a wider variety of foods, getting out of the house on days that we otherwise wouldn't." They went on to talk about the benefits of interacting with different members of the community, and the fact that they've met many members of the region who've come to use the program who are outside of Royal Oak. So it's a good draw for the community and a good draw for the region. So that's our wonderful chef who was just promoted to full-time to meet the demand of this increasing popular program. Planning Commission workshops. So our planning department is working on a zoning ordinance update, and I really want to just take a moment to shout out the work of Joseph Murphy, who's our Director of Planning. Joseph's been with us for some time, and this is a major undertaking. Anytime you do a zoning ordinance update, which is comprehensive, it tackles a lot of pretty beefy topics, and he's really taking a proactive approach, making sure we're having thoughtful discussion on the front end of that process. So in August, the Planning Commission received a presentation and a discussion introducing the concept of form-based codes. They could ask questions about that, and that's should be available of reference. In September, there was a history of off-street parking requirements, which sounds really interesting, and I'm sure that drew a lot of people. But he's putting together a lot of good history work. And then in October, the Planning Commission will receive a special presentation on multifamily density standards, talking about all the concepts about multifamily density that were referenced in the master plan that could be incorporated into a zoning ordinance update, the first update in quite some time. Charging stations. This is on tonight's agenda, and it's just take a minute to get here, but we are happy to report that we have reached a recommendation for 6 level 2 chargers by the company Red E to be installed at the senior center. This is in connection with a grant-funded project that led us to purchase 100% electric transit for the senior center that was funded through a Department of Energy grant. So these stations were the kind of the part B to that grant project that we're lagging a little bit, but we're proud and happy to get this recommendation. There will be dedicated service for the city fleet vehicle, but we do recognize there's a substantial gap in publicly charged or publicly available chargers. And so we hope to also make sure that this is a public benefit and can be used by the public. More information on the program details that are listed below will be forthcoming. Through public restrooms, we got an August usage report. Usage continues to be substantial. We are one of the widest users in the Midwest. So 3,033 cases in August, but if you look at the total since July 4th, that's 6,631, and that was as of early September, so that does not include September's monthly report. So we are getting substantial activity, and of course they always share the text that they receive by users who are exiting the facilities, and we have some positive feedback that have been shared by our users. So quick usage update, just rounded. Centennial Park remains our predominant, most popular location at 53% of uses, then Lawson Park, and then the Farmers Market. Lockman Park celebration. We're here to really just let everyone know October 9th, we're having a formal celebration of all that's been invested there. There's been $1 million of reinvestment, credit to the CDBG fund for being available to support this park investment. It's my understanding this park was commissioned, I think, in 1939, so this is a major renovation for a nearly 100-year-old park. Can't wait to get out there and not try that Ninja Fitness course, but it does look cool. Downtown dollars. This is something we've been talking about a lot lately, and I asked our new DDA director if he had any information about the number of cards that were distributed in Arts, Beats, and Eats. So we had about 3,789, and so they had people who received those cards upon entry to the festival were given about 30 days to recover those, or till the end of September. And as of now, we've received about $50,000 in redemptions over the past 30 days. So that's real dollars being invested to support the small business community. It's sponsored by the DDA. And we talk about celebrating small wins. That's something I don't want to walk past. That's a noteworthy statistic. And then furthermore, the director also shared the table below, which gives us just a snapshot of the activity and the Downtown Dollars programs over the past several years. And you could see, all in all, over the last 5 years, you're looking at a $1.5 million investment in Downtown Dollars with redemptions of $2.1 million. And I will also take the opportunity to welcome the DDA director, Isaac Kramer. Just up for a quick introduction, if you could just say hello to us up here for our viewing audience at home.
Thank you, Joe. Good thing I was in theater because that was improvised. So with that, I come to you by way of Princeton, New Jersey. I was in New Jersey for 9 years, but born and raised in Michigan, actually born in Lansing, and a lot of time coming to Royal Oak when I was younger. But now, 17 years later, happy to be back, happy to be home. And I've been involved in revitalizing downtowns all throughout the country, from Teddy Roosevelt's hometown on Long Island to Appalachian, Kentucky, to again 9 years in New Jersey. One of the highlights was helping downtown get named a Great America Main Street Award winner. I know we have a couple of those in Oakland County, and we may be looking at another one here, but that's probably a few years off. I'm also pleased to have the highest level of certification available for a downtown manager, the Main Street America Revitalization Professional. That was a couple of years of taking courses, and it basically means that I'm really deeply committed to the practice. And yes, I've hit the ground running, and I do want to offer a special thank you first to Joe for just being so helpful during the transition process. Also to Susan, who pinch hit for the DDA these last several months and has been so gracious helping me get started. And all the staff and many wonderful residents as I've been meeting them, that we're off to a great start. But I always like to wrap up and say the best is yet to be.
Thank you, Isaac. I love the finish there. And finally, the farmers market was honored with a tribute from the governor's office in Lansing. So I wonder if Shelley could come up and if we could get a shot of this tribute from our communications department. This is a wonderful honor to receive from Lansing. It's a lengthy tribute. I'm not sure if I can read that tonight.
I don't stand in very well for the governor. You're going to have to.
Oh.
All right. Everyone hear me? Or do I have to put my dad voice on? All right.
You're good.
We're going to go with this. All right, so I'm going to read this tribute because it's really cool. It's from the state of Michigan, special tribute, Royal Oak Farmers Market 100th anniversary. Let it be known that we are honored to recognize the Royal Oak Farmers Market upon the occasion of its 100th anniversary. Throughout its history, the Royal Oak Farmers Market has remained steadfast in its mission to provide fresh, high-quality goods, support local growers and artisans, and serve as a cornerstone of the community and beyond. What began as a community farmers market in 1925 to serve the produce needs of a growing town has become a beloved city institution and a cornerstone of Michigan heritage. In its earliest days, farmers traveled 30 to 40 miles to sell their harvest of potatoes, apples, cabbage, carrots, onions, farm fresh butter, and poultry. By 1927, the construction of the permanent brick building, standing 12 feet high with 23,000 square feet, provided a lasting home for this vibrant market. During World War II, its grounds served the community as home guard practice space and the site for Boy Scouts drum and bugle corps drills. By the 1950s, the market had gone to 110 farmer vendors, and in 1960, it officially adopted the name Royal Oak Farmers Market. When redevelopment threatened its existence in 1996, passionate demonstrators rallied to save it, and the city of Royal Oak secured its future by purchasing full ownership. Today, the Royal Oak Farmers Market showcases a diverse array of locally grown produce, meats, cheeses, seafood, vegan, and gluten-free baked goods, specialty foods, flowers, and garden products, while remaining steadfast in its original commitment to local growers. The market's enduring success is reflected not only in its Saturday farmers market, which runs year-round and draws producers and customers alike, but also in its expansion. Since 1978, the Sunday flea and antique market has become a regional favorite, offering antiques, collectibles, handicrafts, and vintage treasures. More than just a place to shop, the market has become a hub of community life. Each year it hosts weddings, food truck rallies, artist markets, tasting events, health expos, craft fairs, corn roasts, and fundraisers, enriching the cultural and social fabric of Royal Oak and beyond. It is truly incumbent upon all of us to work together to make our communities better. which is why we are thankful for places like the Royal Oak Farmers Market that go above and beyond to serve the community. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to the Royal Oak Farmers Market in recognition of its 100 years of unwavering service to the state of Michigan. We honor the legacy of the Royal Oak Farmers Market for its vital contributions in delivering fresh, locally grown foods and for its enduring role in strengthening the local economy. We send our best wishes for continued success and growth and offer this tribute in honor of their work and contributions to their community and the state of Michigan. Signed, Governor Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist.
We're very honored and proud to receive that proclamation. We've worked hard this year to put on some pivotal events to bring back the 100-year theme and honor the market as a whole. And we started in May with a 100-year flower celebration. Christy has worked, she's the in-house event planner. She has worked so hard, so I would like her to tell you, we did a 100-vendor event that was huge, successful. And she is now working on a harvest festival on October 8th.
So you guys all should have that flyer there. So we hope that you and the community will come out and join us for the Harvest Festival event, Wednesday, October 8th. We will have food trucks, live entertainment, free kids activities. We're excited to have one of our farmers join us and sell fresh produce, mom's pumpkins, corn stalks, and more. We will have a history of the market exhibit for people to read and look through pictures. And we'll have many more activities as planning gets on its way the next couple weeks. And so we hope that you all will come out and join it. Wonderful.
And Judy has done a great job putting together a lot of, from John Wendland, as everybody knew, the historian around who had all that information. And so she's done it by decade. So there's a lot of stuff that, a lot of great information that I think people don't know, that it would really be fun to come and check it out. So we're hoping to see you on October 8th.
Well, thank you for all your work. I know you'll put that in a prominent place.
We're framing it.
And we're framing it again. And I know the party on the 8th, right, October 8th.
Yes.
Sounds like it's a once-in-a-century party.
Yes.
So we all got it.
Thank you. That's the plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Congratulations to everyone. It takes a village, and thank you, staff, for all your continued support. And that, commission is 10 from the top.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gaccio. All right. That brings us to item 5 tonight, which is the approval of the agenda. Does anyone wish to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda? We have a motion by Commissioner Herzog, seconded by Commissioner Cheatham. All right. Discussion? All right. With none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Looks like we have an agenda. All those opposed? Okay. We have an agenda. All right. That brings us to public comment. A couple quick ground rules before we commence. The City Commission values and relies on the input of our fellow citizens to make decisions. Now is the time set aside for the public to address the City Commission on any city-related issue, whether or not it's on the agenda. I ask that comments be directed to the City Commission as a whole and not to individual commissioners. The city has made it easier for you to request follow-up on an issue or leave public comment by simply scanning the QR code you see displayed. Please make sure to double-check your information for accuracy, as staff may utilize it for post-meeting responses. If you wish to speak tonight at public comment, please wait until recognized by me, the mayor, then come up to the podium. For the record, you'll state your name and address. Please be mindful the City Commission wants to hear from anyone who wishes to speak tonight, so comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker, not per topic. And we have a timer at the podium to help you keep track of your time. Please note the City Commission typically doesn't respond directly to questions during public comment. However, we are taking notes, and when that topic comes up, we will ask that question. If your question is related to something that's not on tonight's agenda, make sure that you leave us your contact information through the QR code or with Ms. Davids, who's out in the foyer right now. But we can, unless it's a rhetorical question, I always say, but sometimes we don't know. We want to get you an answer. There's a lot of good questions that come up. And always feel free to email us as well. You can email the city staff, you can email us, and we'll try to get you an answer as best we can. So with that, who's first? Tom.
Good evening. My name is Tom Togweiler, 1018 Longfellow, Royal Oak. I'm here representing the Royal Oak Historical Society. For anyone here, commission, whatever, people watching on TV that don't know about us, we are a private nonprofit that runs a historical museum at Webster and Crooks. I'm here to invite the community, everyone here and at home in the entire community, to our 84th annual Historical Society dinner. It's on October 14th at 7 p.m. with a social hour at 6 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church off of 7th Street in Washington. I appreciate the time given that I can plug this. We have a mission at the Historical Society to preserve Royal Oak's history and to educate others about it. So I hope this is an opportunity for some to come, first of all, to help support us, but for some education about Royal Oak history. So thank you. And if you don't mind, I can leave some flyers with the city clerk.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
great. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Togweiler. October 14th.
October 14th.
What's for dinner?
Famous Dave's Barbecue.
All right. Yes, in the back. Yep. No, I'm sorry. Almost back. Yes, you.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Monica Sept. I've lived in Royal Oak for almost 29 years, almost 30 years. And I just have two things tonight. I just wanted to thank the Commission for your overall governing of the city. You must be, I don't always agree with Commission decisions, but there are times I do. And you must be doing something right, because people really want to live in Royal Oak. It's a safe, much in a large part, thank you to first responders, past and present, friendly place, well-attended events, walkable community. We're increasing our tree canopy, and we have residents who not only care about dogs and cats, but about living with their urban wildlife. I know it's not easy to be commissioner, and it's a lot of work. We're all missing the Lions game right now, so I thank you. And then the other question was just, it's just questions really, curiosity about the consent agenda item 7D, the DTE Light program. And I was just wondering if it's a new program that they're offering, if any local cities have installed these kinds of lights. And the master agreement says that DTE is using the IESNA standards. So will the LED lights follow the dark sky recommendations to try and reduce light pollution? There's 5 standards: useful, targeting, low level, controlled, and warm colored. And I'm not sure if that's possible for roads. And then if the city will use the DT standard and not a custom design. But mainly I know LED lights are more cost effective and safer to use. And I was just wondering how much brighter they'll be or if it's the same. So thank you again.
All right. Anybody else tonight? Going once? Going twice? All right. We're going to close public comment, bring the discussion back to this side of the table. It brings us to the consent agenda, of which we are going to pull off item E for a quick discussion. Mr. Grachowski wanted to look at that one. And we had a question tonight. D, there it is. Last one I'm looking at. Do we need to pull that off to get that question asked, or can we just do it as part of the overall consent agenda?
You could do it either way, actually.
Okay, we'll do it as part of the overall
You could do that.
consent agenda. So we could, if someone wants to make a motion for the consent agenda with the exception of E.
Yeah, I'll move approval of the consent agenda with the exception of item E.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Herzog. All right, discussion. Yes, there was a question that came up, and I think it's a really good question from Ms. Sept. We're moving forward with what appears to be a good thing, but I think there are some interesting questions there that went way above my pay grade, Mr. Yee. But I think the concept is just, are we getting brighter lights? Are we getting more control over these LEDs? What benefits do they bring? And does it help, hurt, or stay neutral to light pollution?
Okay, great. I agree, those are great questions, and we actually have some representatives from DTE, and I'm going to ask if Brandon Farron or it's Barbara Rywalder want to come up and kind of talk a little bit about those. So these lights, just to kind of get a handle on it, there's this contract or this agreement is for 520 lights that are city-owned. The vast majority of the lights through the city are DTE owned and operated, and these lights are city owned. They're the only lights in the city that are non-LED, and the lights that we would be installing would match the rest of the lights through the city. Right. So if you can see on the map, it is kind of odd how they're kind of broken up what lights are city owned. They're not in any particular area. They're kind of spread throughout the city, and this would actually add uniformity to the rest of the lights through the city. But as far as the dark sky and color and things like that, I'm going to defer to DT as more of the experts in that area for sure. So
perfect.
Right now, have the microphone here.
Yep. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And that was a great question that you did bring up. And as Kevin was mentioning, there are two different style of fixtures that are being proposed for this project, and they are almost very like similar characteristic fixtures. Like there's Cobra head lighting, which is like your main roadway lighting. We'll be replacing that with a equivalent LED fixture with a 4000 K color temperature, which is a nice white color temperature. The other areas that are in this proposal are what we call acorn or post-top decorative light fixtures, which are currently a high pressure sodium bulb in there, which have that orangish, like amber color, color temperature. We are proposing a very similar fixture style that is similar to the existing color temperature, although this one in the LED version would be 2700 Kelvin color temperature, which is not that bright white, but it's also not that high pressure sodium look. It's somewhere in between that. We are also proposing to put shields inside of these fixtures to help eliminate any kind of light trespass that would occur on some residence properties.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Douglas.
So, and these fixtures are all downward facing, that is not projecting up into the sky?
Well, they're the equivalent, they look similar to what is already out there existing. I wouldn't say these are dark sky friendly, but they do reduce glare. Anytime you put an LED inside of an enclosed glass prismatic fixture, you're going to get some kind of glare and some kind of uplight no matter what. The LEDs are they're mounted in a column inside of that fixture, not on the top downward projecting. There's kind of mounted around a multi-sided LED array that project light more towards the road and some light backwards. But yeah, like I said, there are shields that will be installed in these fixtures.
So, and maybe this is a question for Mr. Yee. Are our fixtures? We have an ordinance. When developers build something here, they have to provide downward-facing light. Is that true of these existing fixtures?
They're downward facing, correct? I mean, they're downward facing. The Cobra heads, in particular, for sure, are downward facing. The acorn lights do project a little more outward, right? So. But they do have shields on them so that they don't project onto private property, and again, meeting the ordinance standards that you're referring to, so they don't bleed onto other people's property.
Actually, my concern is more that they don't shine up.
Correct. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the Cobras are shining down, so
yes.
Those are not going to be an issue at all. The acorns, I can't speak to as much. Like, do they have more tendency to shine upward, or?
So yeah, that question is, so there will be some light that is projected up. It's just, like I said, it's to match what the existing fixtures are and what we are proposing. There's not LEDs that are mounted on the top of the fixture to kind of project that light downward. It's in a glass prismatic globe, and the distribution pattern is reflected off that prismatic refractor. So there will be some uplight. There are options to have other components inside of that fixture to help reduce the amount of uplight. But what was proposed is, it's not a downward projecting fixture.
Okay, thank you.
So maybe just go ahead, Commissioner Fuller. I was just going to say, just in layman's terms, we're going to be better off by replacing these because LEDs consume a lot less electricity, correct? Over our existing lights that are in there. And then the second is, it sounds like, at least with the Cobra lights, they're more directed downward and we have some shielding that will help with light pollution. So at least with the Cobra lights, our light pollution, any risks of that is reduced.
Correct.
It's a little bit lighter. They're more controlled with the LEDs than, other sorts of filament. The ones that are more the Acorn style, we're not any worse off, but we could be a little bit better off with some of the shielding as well in terms of light pollution. But we get the benefits of all the electricity consumption reduction.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And we did some photometric reports of the existing lighting system, and then comparing that to what we're proposing, the LED, to only 2700K, it is less glary light, but there still is that kind of upward projection.
So it's better, but not
Correct.
perfect.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Commissioner Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. and Thank you for being here today. I do have two questions here. One is, after conversion to LED, I've noticed some lights around town are purple. Are those malfunctioning lights that need to be replaced?
If they are purple and they're DT-owned lights, then yes, they do need to get replaced. It's a defective LED. And if you know where those locations are, I can give you my card and we can get that fixed.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. So that's good to know. We can have residents report it and we can get those fixed.
Yeah.
Great. And then can you tell us other communities that have used this program and the benefit that they saw?
As far as like an acquisition kind of proposal, or just like streetlights in like general?
Street lights in general.
Oh, yeah, in our community lighting, department, we have over 200,000 lights that we own and maintain throughout our electric service territory. I think one of our bigger customers is the city of Warren, city of Ann Arbor. I know the city of Royal Oak is up there as well. But yeah, we have over 200,000 lights that we own and maintain.
Okay, so other communities have saw a benefit from participating in this program. Right?
Yeah, correct. We're actually currently doing a conversion project with the city of Ann Arbor.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, we've got a motion on the table. All right, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Thank you. That brings us to item E, previously on the consent agenda. Mr. Bocelli.
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. Just a brief note that I'd ask that if there's inclination to approve this agreement, which tracks with the previous very well drafted agreement for the parking system. We have a good base for that, but there's a couple of revisions we need to make to this agreement that's proposed to you tonight. So I would ask that the resolution also include additional language upon final revision and approval by the city attorney's office so we can move this forward.
Mr. Macy?
Are you talking about item E?
E, electric vehicle
Okay.
charging.
All right. The way you said it overall made me think you were talking about maybe H.
Correct, but I guess what I meant was that the agreement is very similar to the agreements we use for the parking system. Even though this applies to EV charging stations, the actual purchase of the equipment and the licensing for the use or the application is very similar in nature.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to express that we did a lot of work on this agreement too, like we did on the parking agreements, and it shares a lot of the similar traits and protections for the city overall.
Okay. Commissioner Douglas?
So I'm sorry, what is being asked here? Why are we acting on this separately?
So the agreement presented to you is we need to make some minor revisions to it. So the agreement before you isn't the final agreement that I'm asking that the commission approve for the purchase of these charging stations. So what I'm asking is approve it, but subject to final revision and version pursuant to our negotiations with Ready.
So we'll see this again? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Oh.
unless you want to, we can not and bring it back. The revisions we received late today. I looked at them. There's 3 that I believe to be minor. So I'm just asking that if you're comfortable with me okaying those minor revisions, that you approve it subject to our final agreement and our final approval of those revisions.
Got it. Okay, I so move.
Thank you.
We have a motion by Commissioner Douglas. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Macy. All right, discussion. Okay. These are minor revisions that are coming in, that came in today, that aren't going to fundamentally change the basic termination clauses or anything like that.
That's correct. There is some substance to them, but nothing that is, that degrades our ability to protect ourselves in the agreement.
All right. Put a little trust in Mr. Grachowski here to close it out. All right. Any other discussion? All right, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. All right. That brings us to item 8, which is a request to approve a mural as art at 1225 East 11 Mile Road. Ms. Barkman.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. This item is to request for a mural. As you may recall, this is your vote here tonight is designating it as art and not as a sign for the business, and that's why we vote on these. This mural request is for 1225 East 11 Mile, which is nude wax and sugaring. The business owner as well as the artist is here this evening. If you guys would like to come up to the podium and introduce yourselves and chat a little bit about your art.
Hello. Hi. I'm the owner. My name's Diana. I just moved back to Michigan from Texas. I opened a couple studios there, and Austin is very fun, vibrant. There's a lot of murals, and as soon as I got this building, it's blocked from the street on one side with another building, and I saw that wall, and I was like, we need a mural. And I met her, and it just happened, and then I saw her stuff, and she's also done a bunch of stuff here, and I was like, heck yeah, we need something there. And our brand, I don't know if any of you get waxed, but a lot of them are very medical office and very people don't feel as welcoming, and it's not as inviting. And everyone always says when they come to our business, they're like, oh my God, it's so fun in here, the decor, the light, you guys, we wear our regular outfits. So I feel like art does the same thing for a community that decor and our business does for our clients. So,
hello, my name is Tori. I met most of you, I believe, earlier this spring when I was commissioned to do a mural on the side of Henry Ford. So thank you, all of you, for approving that. That was a dream come true for me. And I'm really excited to hopefully bring this piece to life. I don't know if we have, or if you guys have a photo in front of you. I'm sure we'll probably get there, but yeah, if you want to, if we can, or if you have any questions about the piece specifically, I would like to answer them.
Maybe tell us about the inspiration behind it.
I was going to say, yeah, so it'll make more sense once you see the image, but my overall inspiration for the piece, it does have a visual of a woman with her hair kind of whooshing towards the back of the building, which really just represents movement. And we're all just constantly moving around, and life's really busy. And the quote on the mural will specifically say, "Wish you were here." And I think that's a good testament to really the human experience and how we all can resonate with missing and remembering somebody. And really that's my true inspiration behind it. But if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Well, I think it's very fitting, on brand with Royal Oak. We are a welcoming community. And I think when people are driving down 11 Mile off the highway coming in, remembering that we wish they were here, we wish you were here. So I think it not only is it have inspiration maybe out of the genesis of your creativity, but I think it's very on brand for the community of who we are at our core. So I like it a lot.
Thank you. I would agree.
Anybody else? All right. Seems like this might be a tough, close vote. So, does anyone want to make a motion? Commissioner Colo.
This is awesome. I move approval.
A motion by Commissioner Colo. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Hunt. All right. Discussion. Down there, Commissioner Herzog.
Thank you. As mentioned in Commissioner Hunt's invocation last week, some of us joined over 500 municipal leaders across the state for the Michigan Municipal League Convention in Grand Rapids. And I look forward to this annual event, which has been taking place for 126 years. It brings together leaders from small and large communities, urban and rural, and different political backgrounds. This nonpartisan convention focuses on learning, relationship building, and sharing best practices for a stronger, vibrant, and more resilient communities. It's really a joyous and respectful few days. While at the convention, the feedback that I often heard was that people love visiting Royal Oak. There are things to do here, it's vibrant, and most importantly, people feel safe. Royal Oak has it going on, a community leader said to me. I also heard about how well our commission works together. There is a bit of jealousy with other communities. We take for granted that Royal Oak has a professional commission that demonstrates dedicated, thoughtful, and respectful leadership. Our working relationship is reflected in our community successes, and our positive reputation is noted and noticed across the state of Michigan. One of the themes at the convention was art and placemaking. We happened to be in Grand Rapids during Art Prize. The city manager of Grand Rapids, Mark Washington, said, "Public art is not a luxury. It's infrastructure for communities wishing to thrive." And I agree with him. We have many murals and art pieces throughout our public spaces, and I think it adds to our vibrancy and makes people feel welcomed here. Artists make us think, feel, especially, and engage. As Commissioner Hunt said, art is power. And community art brings us joy, love, and pride in our city. So of course, I will be supporting this mural.
Anybody else?
Who wants to top that?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
You all
All
get
right.
a free wax now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I feel like a 4-year-old virgin.
I am French Canadian. What can I say? All right. That brings us to item 9, which is the Michigan Liquor Control Commission Thirst Oak Tap House LLC doing business as Royal Oak Tap House request for approval of plan of operation. And we have Lieutenant Cassell here.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. The Police Department received a request from Thirst Oak Tap House LLC to review a plan of operation associated with the transfer of ownership for an existing Class C liquor license with Sunday AM and PM sales. The applicant is purchasing Royal Oak Tap House located at 714 South Washington and its liquor license from the current owner, Palace Restaurants Incorporated. The applicant is seeking the city's approval and has received conditional approval from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. The applicant, Rajesh Gupta, will be the sole member owner of the business. Mr. Gupta has been actively involved in the restaurant business for the last 27 years. During that time, he's managed, owned, and consulted multiple liquor license establishments. He currently owns and operates Farmington Hills Manor and Banquet Center. If approved, his plan for the restaurant is to continue doing business as Royal Oak Tap House and continue operations the same as Palace Restaurants Incorporated has. Essentially, from the public's perspective, the restaurant will appear unchanged. There will be no changes to the building. Mr. Gupta would like to keep the seating layout the same and maintain the outdoor service area, which is located on private property. Their menu will remain unchanged. Hours of operation will be the same, which are 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., 7 days a week. Royal Oak Tap House's anticipated food to alcohol sales ratio is 70% food and 30% alcohol. Mr. Gupta is requesting to continue to use the dance and entertainment permits. Dancing will be limited to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings on a dance floor located in the front dining room. He's requesting to offer occasional live acoustic music with local bands. The applicant has no intention of becoming a nightclub. All music and dancing will end at 1 a.m. The Royal Oak Police Department has looked at this closely and is not opposed to this request. I'm happy to take any questions from you. The applicant, Mr. Gupta, and his attorney are present for questions.
Questions?
Thank you.
Commissioner Colo.
Lieutenant, thank you for that. I do have a quick question. You said that the current hours are 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., but online, when I looked online, it appeared to be evening hours only from 3 p.m. till 12 a.m. And they don't appear to have a breakfast menu. Did you see that in your search?
When I spoke to the current owners, that is their plan of operation.
Okay.
So Commissioner Colo, you saw their plan of operation may say that they're open till 2 a.m., but they're staying open. They've adopted their hours.
Yeah, it looks like
Adapted
they're
their hours.
an evening. They don't appear to have a breakfast menu, and then evening hours only. So I guess maybe it's for the applicant then. How would they manage to be open from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m.?
Okay, I see where you're going. Okay. Any other questions on our side? Okay, questions for the petitioner? Okay, well, before we start questions, actually, maybe give you the opportunity, welcome. Tell us a little bit about what you want to do with the tap house. I know it says you want to keep the plan of operation the same, but kind of walk us through, Mr. Gupta, your spin on what the Royal Oak Tap House will look like and be.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. Yes, thank you so much for welcoming us to Royal Oak Tap House. We saw a beautiful opportunity of a historical business being run and operated by a single family owned members of this community for a very long time in the making. And I believe they had the run, so we saw an opportunity to take it forward in the coming years. So what we intend to do is that I've always had a personal belief when I acquire a business or set up a business, I want to study the culture around this community, because that is what we're going to cater to first as a business. So my clear intention moving forward into the business operating after we close our business deal sometime this week is to operate the business as it is being running currently, and then study the market locally to see what else befits the purpose of a business there being operated and how we want to optimize the utilization of the building, the facility, the liquor, and everything. Nothing is going to happen overnight. So it's a people's business. So we have to settle down with our staff. We have to settle down with the community. We have to settle down with our operations. And we are entering the winter months. So these months are going to actually help us kind of concentrate on the internal management concepts of the business. And while we are designing what can be done furthermore. So if at all anything needs to be done and per our management plans, obviously we're going to go through the city protocol of bringing the plan of operation for a review, revision, and its approval before we take anything to it. And yes, so Mr. Sam, the current owner, did some breakfast runs, and we don't intend to do breakfast runs. Instead, we do need to concentrate on bringing the evening life of business and nightlife of business and continue to run it from 3 p.m. all the way to the night permits. So that's our intention.
Okay. Any questions? Commissioner Colo.
Thank you for that. So just to understand, you do intend on operating from 3 p.m. until 2 a.m. every day then? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think in today's industry, it's really hard, I imagine, just getting people to staff for 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yeah.
There are some challenges for that shift. Unless your core concept is the breakfast shift, which makes the nature of the business, it really doesn't make any supporting sense to add a few hours in the morning and take the overheads. It's impractical, basically.
Commissioner Cole?
So, Mr. Mayor, I think I should recommend that we actually, the presented plan of operation does say 7 a.m. until 2 a.m. every day. I think with the applicant here telling us that's not going to happen, perhaps we should amend that and have the plan of operation be from 3 p.m. until 2 a.m. every day, or whatever hours that they actually intend on being open. we don't have, can't think of many restaurants in town that have a 7 a.m. plan of operation allotment at this time, especially if they do not intend on being open for breakfast. They don't even have a breakfast menu.
Yeah, I hear that. I think my opinion's a little different. I think if before the tap house wanted to be open at 7 a.m. and try their breakfast, maybe after observing the business over the winter months and getting everything stabilized, there is an opportunity to open up, and then it would just require more effort to come here and do that. I don't see any problems if they open earlier. If they want to open at noon, for a football game or an early morning Lions game, I think anything we can do to help with that extra cash flow is a good thing. So I don't see there being any issues. Commissioner Colo?
I think typically when we do see a plan of operation that would want to do that, they do put directly into the plan of operation. We may occasionally open for special events, such as St. Patrick's Day, football games, et cetera, et cetera. So we actually see that laid out with other attorneys that present to us. So I think maybe to cover the city's bases without trying to hold them up. I think it's great. Welcome to the community. This is great. This seems to be an edit that we can get in to make sure to memorialize what the expectations are.
Also keep in mind, we have the dance permit and entertainment permit agreement. So if there are any issues, that's always revocable. That's something that we've done to maintain a little bit of local control, despite what they've done in Lansing. So we do always have leverage if there's ever a issue, whether that's at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. or midnight or 1:59 a.m. Commissioner Douglas.
What is the burden, let us say we approve a modified plan of modified hours based on Commissioner Colo's thoughts. What is the burden to the business in having to come back to revise their plan of operation at some future time when they decide, I don't know, to be open for lunch, if not 7 o'clock in the morning? Mr. Gruchowski, Lieutenant, is there a cost to reapply? How long is the process?
No, there's no cost. He would simply contact me. I would work with him to rewrite the plan of operation and then bring it before you for approval.
And Mr. Gruchowski, some of that falls on you as well?
That's correct. We would review it again, and the burden would be standing before you once again, having a similar conversation in the future about what that may look like.
So, and it's not, I'm inclined to agree with the mayor on this subject, but I did want to establish what the burden might be to a small business owner. So, thank you.
There's attorney's fees too. Commissioner Hunt?
That was what
Oh, sorry.
They have to pay.
Commissioner Macy.
I was just going to say, I don't understand why we would be so specific and care about what they are going to do about this. So we have people who ask for dance and entertainment permits, and we don't later say, like, well, it doesn't seem like you're using this. Why did we let you have it? And then we just improved that one, can't remember the name, the corner underneath Pinky's, old Pinky's, where they're only going to be open occasionally.
Yeah.
But I don't think we told them you can only be open, you have to only be open occasionally or you don't get approval. We let them say that their plan of operation was for all those hours. So the question is the burden, what's the burden on them, but what's the burden on us? Unless we have a problem with them operating from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., which I don't know why we would say, no, you messed up because you're not actually planning to do that right now. I'm confused why we're here right now, why we're having that conversation.
Because Commissioner Colo brought it up. Commissioner Herzog.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Commissioner Herzog. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Douglas. Discussion. I'll just say Commissioner Colo is not wrong. I just think that there is, we don't know what the future is going to hold with a new operator and owner. We don't know what the economy is going to be like with all the stir coming out of D.C. and the state not even be able to approve a budget. So I think in this case, giving maximum flexibility to a business owner to find success with the leverage of the dance permits and the entertainment agreements. And then always, if you don't live up to your plan of operation and you're at problem, I'm not expecting you would be, but if you are a problem in this community, we'll work with you to solve that problem. Our PD is really good. And if that help is refused, then we will do everything in our power to remedy the burden to our community. So we usually take all carrots, and then rarely have we had to pull out a stick. We have, though. So I'll be supporting the motion. Commissioner Colo.
Yeah, I'm excited for the restaurant. I think it's going to do well. I'm voting no because I think it's wild to have the applicant come before us and say, we're not actually going to do what this plan of operation says, but please approve this plan of operation.
I can respect that. All right. Call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Okay. Motion passes 6-1. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck with the deal. I mean, it's not there yet, right?
It's not there yet.
You know,
This
big
week.
step though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we plan on closing this week, so.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well,
Thank you so much.
look forward to see what you do.
Thank you, Board.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. That brings us to item 10, adjournment. Notwithstanding anything for the betterment of our community, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Commissioner Herzog.
Motion to adjourn.
Ooh, that's a lot of enthusiasm behind that one. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Hunt. Discussion. Well, I'd like to read the first chapter of War and Peace for discussion tonight, if you guys, just kidding. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion passes. We're adjourned.
Be repaired before we could even talk about lining it. But in general, I have a few images here just to kind of illustrate what cured and